Hey guys, how you doing? Come on in. I am waiting for 6 o'clock to get here. I'm gonna start right at 6 o'clock with Grace Creations. I'm in an event with them today, and I'm just waiting to be shared into the group. I'm watching Lindell finish up her craft, and while we're waiting, for those of you that are normally on my page, there's a link at the top of the page. If you're not part of Grace Creations, give them a follow, and then what you can do is after my live, you can go to Grace Creations. You can click on the link, and you can actually just watch everybody boom, 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 boom down in the group. So we've got just one more minute, and we're going to get started. So y'all hang on. I want to see what Lindell's doing. She is finishing up her letter D. I've been wanting to do one of those, so I'm going to have to check it out and maybe I'll do a J, huh? J for Julie. That would be pretty cool, huh? All right, so almost there. Let me get. I'm going to go ahead and. Aw, Lindell, that turned out so cute. Great job, great job. All right, so I have wrestled back and forth with what color I was going to work with today. And I started, well, let me get this because, hey, Sherry, I hope everything went well for you today. Been praying for you. All right, so I'm going to do a base coat on this in the color of cotton. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Y'all come on in. Thanks for sprinkling me out there, Sherry. I appreciate that. Hey, Sparky, come on in. I had my dad had a furniture store when I was like 18, and one of the gals in it was a real small town, and the town was named Sparkle. And anyway, that was always a fun name. I'm good, Roger. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let me see if I can pull myself up here on my computer. The theory is to refresh the page and then see if it's going to come up, right? Thanks for sprinkling, Sparky. I appreciate that. All right, so it seems like I have to, and I haven't quite figured it out, but it seems like I have to go out and come back in, and there I am. So that must be the deal. Anything fun and interesting happened today at McDee's, Lisa? Something fun and interesting? Today's been a pretty quiet day. I took my nephew to work. Let's see, what time did he didn't go in until like 4 o'clock today, and so I had some other things that I was going to do. Y'all come on in. I'm going to just get the paint off of this this stir stick, and then I'm going to put it off here to the side and hope that I don't stick my my arm in it. And then, the other thing that I better do, I'm always optimistic, and but it's not realistic. I'm always optimistic that I'm not going to get paint on myself, but that doesn't always happen. It usually, more times than not, I end up with paint on me. So I got my little pig pen. I made this apron, and anyway, we're going to get going here, y'all, so that I have plenty of time to finish this. I am working with Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint in the color cotton, like cotton fields back home. I'm in the South. Well, I'm kind of in the north part of the South. Oh, well, good for you. Oh, a revival. Oh, fun. Good for you. All right, so here we go. I am going to take, this is a ceramic pumpkin. The theme for our event today is the pumpkin patch. What is it? Welcome to the pumpkin patch. Yeah, welcome to the pumpkin patch. So I have these little, I love these little ceramic pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. I don't know what it is about them, but you can do so many different things with them. And so I thought, well, I haven't done any, well, I did like a canvas panel with a pumpkin and in the back of a truck the other day, but I haven't done like a 3-dimensional pumpkin this well, it's not quite fall yet though. This season, this fall is coming up, and spring and summer are my favorite seasons, y'all. Spring and summer, that's me. I'm the spring and summer girl. And so I have a hard time pushing summer out of the way and welcoming fall in all honesty. And so this is going to be my first pumpkin. I've been seeing people. I've got, there are some crafters already into Christmas and everything. And I'm pretty much a, walk by faith, not by sight kind of gal, where I live each day for the day that it is, and I don't kind of rush things along. And, so, that's really good, but, if you're trying to sell stuff and you want to have stuff ready for the season that's coming up, you got to start making things before it's time to sell them. So, but, anyway, so I've kind of gotten to the point where, I have found an assisted living place, and I blessed the residents with like my summer. And hey Kathy, come on in. Hey Sharon, welcome. Anyway, I blessed them with some of my projects that I had made, and they had a fun time with it. And we turned it into like a little. It was like a shopping event, but I was just giving them to them just to bless them, and so it turned out to be a lot of fun. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see. They had asked me to come back and kind of have like a craft day with them in October. So I've got to get back up with them and find out what day we're going to actually do that. And hey Jessica, lot of awesome crafts today, y'all. If you don't know where you are, you're either on my page, Nothing is Wasted Designs, or you're in Grace Creation. Wonderful, talented group of crafters. I'm going to just get a couple of base coats on here. I really don't think this is going to take very long. But then I say that about every project, y'all. So we'll see what happens here, right? All right. So I'm going to put a second coat on here, and then after I get the second coat on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the bottom, because I like to do the bottom also. And I'm not quite sure if I'm going to leave the bottom white or what. So, we've got a plethora of different colors of paint that we can use. And, sometimes the hardest decision is what colors do we want to work with. At least it is for me. And so I pulled out, should I do something in terms of, a combination of colors, like bright colors. My MO is usually I like to work with bright, high contrast colors. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen today, but we'll see. Anyway, so I thought, well, I could do like a variety of colors and have like yellow and orange and red. And then I thought, well, yeah, I could do that. And then I had like a teal. Should I go with a teal? Teal would be fun. That would be different colors to work with that I haven't done on pumpkins. I've done turquoise, but this is more of like a teal color. And I had a variety of shades of the teals. And I thought, okay. Well, then I changed my mind and I thought, well, and then I had the thought that came to me is sunflowers. You know, oh, wouldn't a sunflower pumpkin be fun? And then I thought, well, you know, sunflowers and pumpkins kind of go together. So maybe I could do a project that is yellow and orange. So that's what I'm going with. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. And who knows? I could change my mind before I get the paint on here, but we will see. Hey, Lindell, you did a great job. All right, let me get this dry. This is loud. I know it's loud. I need to get a Pumpkins Crafty Creations. Welcome, welcome. Pumpkin. Oh, pumpkin. All right, let me get this dry. Then we'll do the bottom of it, because we always want to make sure that we do the bottom and the back of our project. All right, so here we go with the bottom. So that's what I decided to go with. I decided I'm gonna do a mix of yellow and orange, yellow, orange, and white for my pumpkin today. And we're gonna just see how it all shakes out, y'all. And so I have several of these pumpkins, so y'all are gonna probably see me paint these in a variety of colors this season. They're fun. They're small. You know, you can put them. You can match them to the decor in your house. You can give them away to friends. And they're pretty inexpensive. I think they're about $4 at Hobby Lobby. And I think they're 50% off. So we'll see where we go with this. So I looked up, I was curious. I'm always asking questions and always wanting to learn something new. And I was curious as to, you know, now y'all may already know this, but I needed to look it up so that I could answer my curiosity. Why do you see so many, I mean, everything, you know, for when fall comes around, you see pumpkins and sunflowers mixed together a lot. And I thought, well, surely they must grow at the same time. And that's why we have pumpkins and sunflowers mixed together. And that would be true. Hang on, let me finish drying it, then I'll finish talking. Hot. So that would be true, that the reason why you see sunflowers and pumpkins mixed together, it's not just a color thing. It has to do with the fact that you can actually plant sunflowers and pumpkins together, and they end up being excellent companion plants with each other. They increase the pollination for the pumpkins and the sunflowers. They keep the pests down. I'm tying my apron on, y'all, so that I don't drop something on my pants that already have a ton of paint on them, right? And it also helps improve crop yield, which I did not know that. But the idea is you take and you plant the sunflowers to the north of the pumpkins, wherever that may be. I am not a north, south, east, and west. I am so bad with directions, y'all. It's crazy. So the idea is you plant the, all right, so this is looking good. You plant the sunflowers to the north of the pumpkins, and then that way they won't shade the pumpkins. But, so that's why, you know, like Lindell, she just had the craft that she did. It had pumpkins and sunflowers mixed. Oh, well, this craft here that I did yesterday, I'll just show y'all. Okay, this was a stencil from Essential Stencil, and it has sunflowers and pumpkins in there. And, of course, it's in the back of a truck. This says Harvest. But, anyway, so it piqued my curiosity, and I thought, I need to find out more information. So now y'all are in the know. That's why you see pumpkins and sunflowers mixed together, because they pretty much grow about the same time. They are good companions to each other. They increase crop yield, and help keep the pests down. So, you know, there's a whole science behind when you're working with gardening. I'm not a gardener, y'all. I love to dig in the dirt, but right now my health is not going to let me do that. So it's been years since I've been able to get down on my hands and knees and work in a garden and all of that. All right, so this is what we're going to do. So all I can do is look stuff up and see what we're going to do. I was looking at this while I was watching Lindell do her project. And I had this, there are 10, what do you call these, ribs? There are 10 ribs on this. And it doesn't always yield 10. It doesn't always yield because you've got 2 times 5. All right, so remember I'm a former math teacher. So I'm always thinking in terms of numbers. And whenever I have like a number, I divide it in half and I see what's left over. Well, we know 10 is 2 times 5. 5 is a prime number. That means you're not going to divide it easily or evenly without having some kind of remainder. This is how my brain works. I'm just sharing it with y'all. So what I think I want to do is I really should start with the yellow first. And I'll tell you why. Because it's the lighter color and I can probably get away with only using one brush. So the question is, these are the 2 colors that I'm going to be working with. I'm going to be working with this is called a saffron yellow, and the orange is called a tiger lily. And I'm not sure if this is a special set that I got. Should we have more? We're going to have orange, yellow, and white on this pumpkin. Should we have more orange or should we have more yellow? Y'all decide. Right? Orange or yellow, or an O and a Y. And tell me, do you want more orange in this pumpkin or more yellow? I'm thinking more orange. I don't typically do that, but we're going to have white in this. We're going to have a lot of white, so I thought that the orange would kind of balance between the yellow and the white, that the orange would carry a little bit more weight. So what do y'all think? More orange or more yellow? These are Deco Art Americana paints. All right, I'm going to make an executive decision. Oh, yellow. More yellow? Okay, more yellow. All right, so let me look at this. I go there. All right, we're going to do more yellow, more orange. All right, there's a yellow, there's an orange, another orange, 2 oranges and 1 yellow. What y'all say? What say ye? 2 oranges to 1 yellow. Anybody else have a guess? Come on, y'all, work with me. Class participation here. 2 oranges and 1 yellow is what I see. Does anybody see anything different than that? So that means that the oranges are winning out. If you want a yellow, you've got to at least tie. All right, looks like we're going with orange. Orange it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go with, I'm going to go orange, white, orange, and then I'm going to do orange, white, orange over here, which means that, all right, let me get just a teeny tiny, I need some kind of mark on here. Oh, I know what I'll do. Hang on. I'll do yellow here, and then I want to flip this and do yellow across. So let me get, all right, this is what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on here. This is a saffron yellow. Make sure y'all can see this. And I'm going to add, I think I want to add a little bit, a touch of this gold, maybe. All right, so I'm going to take, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab just a little bit. I probably shouldn't have done it that way, but all right, so I've got these 3 here, and I'm going to come in here. I may only be able to do this. All right, I've got to look at this because it's like really oddball stuff. All right, so this is the one I want to do. So this one I want yellow. I've got a little bit of gold in here. I have more than one color of yellow in here. So I'm taking the yellow, and then I'm coming in here with a little bit of the gold. And just bringing this down. I can't talk and do this at the same time. The key to getting a nice straight line is to make sure, okay, so there's our first stripe for the yellow. All right, so now I got to look at this again. And now I'm going to come over here, and this one here. All right, let me look at it again. Hold on a minute, y'all. These 3. No, it's these 3. And I'm going to make this one yellow. So let me turn this around and put my thumb on that. And I'm going to come in here with the yellow, a touch of this gold. All right. And here we go. So we're going to take, we want to load up our brush, kind of offload it. All right, and I'm going to come in here again on this other side. Ooh, that's a little bit dark. Don't want it quite that dark. And we're going to go down this rib. I love painting like this. I don't do it as often as I'd like, but I don't know. It seems like fall is when I do it because mostly of the pumpkins. All right, so we've got a yellow, and we have a yellow on this side. And we're going to come back and, all right, let me get this kind of straightened out. All right, so this is what we have. We've got a yellow and a yellow. So now we're going to go in and we're going to take the orange, and I'm going to need to dry this or I'm going to end up smudging it. So hang on just a minute. And I'm just using an acrylic paint. This dries pretty quickly. All right, so now we're going to go in here. I'm not even going to, I'm not going to even clean my brush or anything, y'all. I'm going to just kind of, I think. Just get some of this off of here, and let's see what we're going to get. And I want to add, I think I want to add a little bit of red to this. Just a smidgen. Let's see what happens with that. Is that what I want to do? Do I want to use that? Or hold on a minute. Hold on, I got another orange here. I might change my mind. All right. I think I want to do this orange. So I'm going to play with this orange here. I already have this red in here, but kind of a red orange. Oh, I don't know. I like that. I really like that. All right. So I'm going to stick with my original plan, and I'm going to go with a little bit of this orange and some of this deep orange, and we're going to see what we get. All right. So now I got to go. I'm going to go orange, orange, and white. So here we go, y'all. And I like to use a filbert brush for stuff like this. Everybody has their favorite brush that they like to do for different things. And for me, I like to be able to spread those bristles out. And, all right, and then we're going to get, I might even throw some red in here. I like to be able to fan the brush out and just drag it straight down the pumpkin. And the biggest thing, the most important thing, is to make sure that you have enough paint on your brush. If you don't have enough paint on your brush, what happens is your brush is going to drag. So you just want to make sure that you have a good amount. Okay, so there we go. So there's our orange, and I'm going to bring this up top. And then we're going to decorate this after we get it on there. All right, so there we go. So we've got kind of a golden, and now we've got an orange. All right, here we go. Coming over here, I'm going to skip this in white, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do an orange. I'm going to kind of offload and I'm going to use that ridge. This feels like it's slipping out of my hand. I'm going to get the top of this. This brush, this is a, what's it called? A Zen, Z-E-N, 1/2 inch filbert. It's a Royal and Langdon, I think. It's covered up. All right, so this is what we have so far. Okay, we've got the orange and the yellow. And before I move on, I need to dry this. Oh, I was frozen. You know, I had to go in and out a couple times with some of the other crafters too. So I think what I'm going to do with the pumpkins for this year that I paint. Let me dry this now. I'll tell you. So loud, so loud. Okay, that's good. All right, so this is what we have so far. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to turn this around, and I am going to, all right, so this is going to be white, and so this one's going to be orange. So let's come in here. I forgot what I was going to tell you. But anyway, oh, the filbert brush. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to kind of offload just a little bit of this paint, and then I'm going to spread this brush out. And make that so that you have a nice smooth run all the way down. All right, then I'm going to come over here. All right, let me get a little bit more of this tiger lily. I have found that having the right brush is everything. At least it is for me, because I'm relatively new to, you know, all this painting and stuff like that. And so this brush is, you know, it's nice and soft. It'll spread. It'll fan itself out. And, all right, so I'm going to come up here on the top. And I'm going to take and just kind of at the side here. And if you're not used to doing this, the only way you're going to get better is to put a paintbrush in your hand and practice. Now, what I have told people, if you're new to me and you haven't seen me, new to my page, what I tell people on my page is get some cardboard and take a ruler and just draw some lines. Don't use tape because you need to follow the lines. You need to be able to follow the lines. So get a piece of cardboard and a ruler, draw some straight lines on it, and make it so that you have to go in between a stripe. And what did I do? Okay, I think this one needs to be orange over here. Okay, so this is going to be orange. So the other thing that you can do is, where is this? Get a mixed media pad. Okay, if you need a link, let me know. I'll give you a link. If you don't want to use cardboard, then if you don't want to use cardboard, then use a mixed media pad and practice. You don't have to practice on the pumpkin. You practice on something that you don't care gets messed up, because that's where your most of your freedom is going to be. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I started painting and everything, and I'm like 3 years into this, 4 years, 4 years. I'm 4 years into this, and when I started painting, you know, I was concerned about, oh, I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to waste any money on the surfaces. So I did a couple of things. One of the things I did was I took I got some just, you see me, I like to work on canvas panels a lot. And they are an inexpensive surface that gives you room to be creative, where you don't, I gotta think as I go down here, where you don't mind messing up, okay? You want your brush to have enough paint on it. Now, those of you who already paint, you could teach me some stuff. I'm just telling you what I have learned and how I have managed to progress. All right, so this is what we have. I like that. I like the way that turned out. Now, why am I leaving the white in between? I'm going to teach y'all all the things that I've been learning. You're going to leave the white in there because you want a place for your eyes to rest. Especially if you're working with like a lot of bright colors and stuff like that. You need a place for your eyes to rest. Oops, I stuck my hand right in that. Hold on. It wasn't until I started learning how to quilt about 10 years ago, and I've only made a couple of quilts, but I thought, why do quilts just are so uncomfortable for me to look at? And I learned that it's because I found that the quilts that I like had places for my eyes to rest. There was white space, there was negative space, there was space where your brain can move around the quilt and not be so overloaded with nothing. I love color, don't get me wrong, but we have to have a place for our eyes to rest so that it's, you know, it's pleasing to the eye to follow. All right, so I could do orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, but by having that third color and having that white in there, it gives us a place where our brain can rest, and then we want to continue to look around this. Now, I am not by any means a professional or the know-it-all. I'm just telling y'all how I have looked, what I have learned just in the last 4 years. Okay, I like that. I think I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate it. All right, so what do y'all think? What color do you think we should do the bottom in? Should we do the bottom in, should we carry it down? Should we carry the colors down? Or should we do the bottom all in one color? Say down or one. Down or one. Carry the colors down or make it all one color. I'm kind of thinking one color because it won't be so busy that way. What do y'all think? One color or carry it down? I'm waiting. Waiting for the lag. Carry the colors down. Okay. All right. Anybody else have want to have some input? We can do that. Carry the colors down. All right. Let's see how well I do with this. All right. Let me get this dry so that I don't smudge it. Down, okay. Sparky wants it down. Sherry wants it down. All right. Actually, I think I want to go over this one just a little bit more. Make it a little bit darker. Now remember, I didn't start out being able to paint this fast. It's practice. It's practice. It's practice. It's practice. And everybody can do it. I was not born with a paintbrush in my hand. I was born with an abacus in my hand. That's the math teacher in me. Yeah, I like this. I like adding this extra coat to this because it gives it just a little bit more pop. All right, gonna do this one here. And we'll probably come back and do some kind of highlights on this too. Okay. All right, let me dry it again. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got plenty of time. Hey, Gabby. Welcome. Thanks, Roger. These are ceramic pumpkins that Hobby Lobby sells. I may have to come back up on the bottom here. I mean the top, the very top. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to take and just bring this down and see how well I do with this. Okay, I got that stripe. And then we're going to come... bring this over to the edge. And we'll do this one here. I'm going to take it all the way to the inside edge of this, this bottom here. So there we go. And I'm going to dry that, and then I'm going to do a second coat, and then we'll put the gold on there. Okay. Put a second coat on this. And then I had a smudge over here somewhere. I gotta find it. I think it's this one. Okay. Oh, I didn't. I did. Well, at least it went on there. I should have dried this first. I got a little bit of paint on there. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I need to fix anything up. All right, looking good, looking good. All right, so it looks like the next thing I need to do is I need to come in here. All right, I'm going to see if I can clean this. I may not be able to get all this orange out of here is what I'm concerned with. Looks pretty good. Let's see what we got. All right, that looks pretty clean. All right, let's go for the yellow and the gold. Come back to the yellow and gold. Let me get this out of the way so I don't stick my... All right, I'm going to put the saffron, a little bit of this saffron, and just a smidgen of the gold. Come in here with the yellow. And a smidgen of the gold, just to tone it down a little bit. I'm not a big toner down, but all right, here we go. All right, and then I'm going to come over here to the other side. Down. Kind of went a little bit crooked on this, but it is what it is. If I wanted to, I could take and go over it with some white paint. All right, so this is what we have for the bottom. What do y'all think? All right, let's dry it. How are we doing on time? We have 18 minutes. All right, so let's clean this top up. I'm going to grab a round brush. I think this one right here. All right, I'm going to take a round brush. Let me show you. Just take a round brush. Those ones look kind of bent, but hold on. This one's better. Okay. All right, see, just a round brush, just round, completely round. And what I want to do is I want to go up in here at the top and just kind of clean up this area up here. All of y'all are able to learn this, trust me. It's just practice. You can practice on card. When you take your cardboard, if you want to practice on cardboard, get some, chalk paint and paint your cardboard white so that the paint doesn't absorb all the way into the cardboard. and just put like a base coat. Just get the cheapest paint. Get house paint. You know, get some house paint from Home Depot or Lowe's, or I think there's, what is there? There's another place. I can't think of the name of it. And just do that. And take and paint your cardboard white so that it doesn't go all the way into the paint doesn't absorb all the way into the cardboard. All right, let's see how this is going to do. All right, I'm going to paint this. I haven't decided what color I'm going to paint that. I was thinking gold, but I'm not sure yet, y'all. All right, so let me get, notice that I'm using my pinky finger to kind of hold everything steady. And of course, you know, like I said, if y'all already paint, you don't need me to tell you this. I'm just telling you things that I have found that help me keep a steady hand and go from there. All right, I'm going to do the, I'm going to come up here with this yellow here. I'm not getting it. I don't like that edge on that. All right, I'm changing brushes, y'all. All right, I've got an angled brush. It doesn't matter if it's angled or flat, but I wasn't getting a nice, crisp top of that. I'm going to hold it up and show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. All right, let me get a little bit more of this. Oh, that's, yeah, the saffron. All right, I'm going to show you the orange one. All right, I want you to look at the top right in here, that one there. You see how it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me turn it around the other way. You see how it's kind of feathery at the top? I don't like the way that it's doing that. So that's why I got the other brush, because I wasn't getting a nice straight edge on that. And you'll have to figure out what brushes you like to work with, because you talk to different artists and different people who paint, and, you know, some people like, you know, a flat brush. Some people say any cheap brush will work. You know, you just got to go with what works for you. I use a variety of different kinds of brushes, and I've learned that, you know, sometimes in one situation they look, you know, one brush works better than another. I mean, you could even do just a flat brush to go down the edges. But I like the Filbert brushes because they're nice and soft, and you can fan that brush out and go down. All right, so this is what we have. I want to get this bottom part right in here. Kind of straighten that out. And then we're going to dry it. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We've got 12 minutes left. I like that. I think y'all made a good choice of bringing it down. I was gonna go the easy route and just do all one color, but I'm glad that y'all chose that because I think it looks better. All right, so let's come in here and let's get a little bit of bling on here and see what this is gonna look like. I'm thinking that we can take, this is one of my favorite rhinestone trims that I use for, let's see if I can get this up here. See this? It's a real thin, I don't even know what the measurement is, but it's real thin. And so I'm thinking that we can take, oh my gosh, y'all, if that's not gonna just be amazing. Look at that. Gosh, I can't reach that. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna move you, so hold your eyes. This is gonna be stunning. Look at that. You see that? Okay. So before I do that, what we're gonna do, let's see if I can bring this down so y'all can see a little bit better. I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna paint this stem, maybe. Ooh, maybe not. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this is gonna open. Otherwise I have to go use the, I'm gonna have to go get my jar opener. All right, hang on. Let's see if this is gonna open. All right, hang on. Let me go. I need to go get my jar opener real quick. Hang on. I'm just right around the corner here. Gosh. Wow. Oh my goodness. It is not going to open. All right, well, so much for that idea. I'm going to go to plan B. Gonna go for plan B because I can't even get my jar opener to open it. All right, let me get in here. And I got this new gold marker. Probably shouldn't try something new, but on a project that you're working on, but we're gonna go for it, right? All right, now this is supposed to be, hang on. It said like you're supposed to tap this down, knock the marker cap on a hard surface to release the P inside the pen. I guess that's, all right, sounds like something's moving. Vaseline in the future. Okay, I'll have to remember that. If I can get it open. I'll have to see if my nephew can help me with this. All right, let's see if I can get this going. I'm hoping that, how are we doing on time? 52. Ooh, y'all are all crooked. I do too, Karen. I love bright colors too. All right, it's filling up, so we're gonna go with this. All right. I like this stuff, this liquid gold, but it's not gonna cooperate. So we're gonna go with plan B here. Plan B. This actually looks almost as good. It's not as easy. It's easier to use a paintbrush than it is this little guy. This is a new pen that I just got. It's a Dixie Belle paint pen. All right. I'm going to just kind of try and see. Paintbrush would be a lot easier, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm going to kind of give y'all an idea of what this is going to look like. How are we doing on time? 6 minutes. All right. This is not the best of painting. All right, I'm going to just give y'all an idea of what that's going to look like because I'm not going to have time to finish it. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we can do with this here. And let me get my... where is my... B7000. All right, looks like I need another tube of this. All right, so let me show you what I want to do here. I want to take, and we're going to put, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to put a paper towel down so that any paint that's on here doesn't travel. All right, and I'm going to do the whole top of this in gold. All right, oh yes, make sure that at 7 o'clock, Karen is going to follow me with White's Creative Designs, so you're going to want to watch her. All right, y'all, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and I'm going to put a bead of this down the middle here, or down in between the ribs. Just take, and what this will do is it'll kind of give you a border. And the way I like to use this is I drop this into place, and then I just let it fall into place. I have found that that is the easiest way to get this straight. All right, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this. Okay, and then what you have is you've got some rhinestones in between the ribs. And then what I will do is I will go, let's see, what do we have? We still have 4 minutes. I'll go in between every one of these ribs. All right, let me see if I can squeeze this out. I'll do a couple more of these for you. Actually, I'm going to go this way so that we can get in between. Okay, just put a bead of that there, and then take your rhinestone trim, and I have a link for this if anybody is interested in this. This is my favorite rhinestone trim. It's small. I use it for a lot of different things. Okay, and then we're going to come in here, and I'm going to put the cut side. Let's see if you can see this. See this? There's 2 sides to this. This is the flat side. So I'm going to take the flat side of this and butt it right up against where that is. And you see how it cuts it right down at the bottom. And then this is what we have at the top. Okay, and then I'll do one more. We've got a couple minutes, and I'm going to just take and I'm going to put a bead of this down there, and then I'm going to kind of dangle this out in the air, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of catch it so that it'll stop spinning, and then I'm going to just twist this and make sure that the rhinestones are facing up, And then I'll come over here and cut it off. And then there we have a third one. And then this will be all gold up here. And I can get a couple more in here. So let's see what we got. All right, so I'm going to take and I'm going to just lay that down. Bring it. Now, y'all make sure that you refresh your page after I'm done so that you can watch Karen with White's Creative Designs. Karen likes to work with a lot of bright colors. She's got a lot of talent in, you know, with all of the creators here. So if I'm the first crafter that you've seen today, please go back and, all right, just letting that fall into place. Go back, refresh the page, and see all the other crafters that have presented today. Oh, that one doesn't want to go. There we go. Okay, and it's 7 o'clock. So this is what we have, y'all, just so that you can see how this is going to turn out. And then this will be gold. Okay, I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. Refresh your page, go on into Grace Creations, and I'm sure that Karen is gearing up and is probably getting ready to start. So y'all have a great night. I love you. Jesus loves you more. And I will, if you're not following my page or any of the people in the comments, please make sure and follow us. All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks for joining me.